Hello, everybody, and welcome to the final game of the Blitzkrieg Masters. This is a best of 5 between Endpoint and, of course, Demise. We saw Demise qualifying later on last night, with Endpoint having a bit of a straightforward victory through Comrade, that 2-0.
Surprisingly as well. That was not really what everyone was expecting coming into that game, but it ended up being, as you said, a pretty dominant victory, 16-10 on the first map, if I remember correctly, and then surprisingly, I think it was just as one-sided over on Coastal, which we said would basically be a surefire win for Comrade.
Yeah, absolutely. We thought the Manor would go the way of Endpoint 100%, but yeah, Coastal really surprised us as Endpoint pulled out from what had been two very poor... I mean, the only two maps they lost in this tournament were on Coastal. Up against Sentinels and Avenue. And Avenue loss was very fresh with a 16-4 loss there. And yet all of a sudden they pull out a massive performance on the Allied side of Coastal, where we expected them to do the worst out of the two sides. It was pretty impressive. And coming into this, we're talking about the veto. So it's already gone down right now. It's a very short veto. Demise, having the knife, they got to choose what ban they would pick. So, of course, we've got 6 maps in the pool, right? So it's a best of 5. How we do it is we ban one map. That was Savoia, sadly. It's not going to be played. Expected, but sad. We're not going to see it played out throughout the entirety of the major. It was played once, possibly twice off stream, which is a little bit disappointing. But then Endpoint get to choose a map out of 5, and they chose Manorhouse. That leaves, obviously, the others, Liberation, Coastal, Derailed, and Invasion, in the map pool. And the loser of this first map gets to choose what map the second map will be. The loser of that map chooses the third, and so on and so forth until somebody has 3 maps under their belt. So a little bit of an unusual veto, but that's how we do it with a 6-map pool.
Yeah, it makes sense. You can't really go for a traditional style of veto when you have kind of a weird amount of maps, I guess is one way to put it. Probably could have, but it wouldn't really have been all that impactful because, of course, the order of the maps would have been probably pretty similar to what we're getting now anyway, I guess. So I guess this is a better way to do it because, of course, you're giving that loser a chance to try and pick the map that they feel a bit more comfortable on, and hopefully that means we'll see a really close series.
Indeed, and I think we'll probably see Invasion being stuck out until the end. It's so far throughout pretty much every series that we've been involved in anyways, it's been Invasion and Savoia as the 2 bans straight away in the best of 3s. Now coming into this, obviously, they have to leave one of those in. It is Invasion, but I expect that'll be the 5th map if needed. It's not a favorite. And again, I'm really disappointed we're not going to see Savoia come out. It is a very different map to see the that kind of 3-dimensional gameplay come out on. But unfortunately, we'll not be seeing it. We'll have to wait for the next tournament, and hopefully we'll have some sort of show match on Savoia or something like that next time.
Or hopefully teams have actually prepared it because I'd like to see it being played. As you said, it could be a good map. It's just a lot different from the current maps in the pool. So it is a big adjustment in terms of the play style for teams coming in. And I guess most teams just don't really feel all that comfortable trying to practice it. Also, considering it is usually that insta-ban, as you said.
Yeah, for sure. It is that an Invasion. And
yeah,
I mean, like I said,
Invasion's a little bit more played.
Yeah, well, it is that more 2-dimensional, kind of a lot more linear than the likes of Savoia, where the most parts of the map are simple 2 dimensions. You've got like over towards the mid, the new stairs that are added there allow you to see into the B bomb site. But by and large, it's a pretty standard linear map, similar to the likes of the Counter-Strike maps that a lot of these sort of resemble. They've kept it to that simple gameplay up until Savoia, and like I said, teams just don't want to adjust to that just yet. I don't think it's necessarily that they don't like the map, just they haven't played it. The first time it actually became available for play was competitively was in the qualifiers for this tournament. And again, we saw teams banning it left, right, and center. I don't recall having seen a single game on it. I do think 1 or 2 were played throughout all 5 qualifiers, but they were off stream. And the matches we chose to stream with all the big name teams, we never had Savoia being played out, which I guess as well, there's nobody to practice it against, really. If you do want to get a little bit of practice on Savoia and you search for scrims on Savoia, you just don't find them because nobody practices it, so nobody plays it, so nobody practices it.
Yeah, it's more about teams then at that point just trying to put in the time to find out new things on the map, trying to innovate, and then hope that after dry running a little bit that they actually would be able to make it work in a proper environment. But guys, we are finally ready to get into the grand final. A best of 5, of course, between Demise and Endpoint. And I expect this to be a great series. Endpoint starting off on that Axis side. Demise on the offense. And already we have found some action. Mark able to open things up as he drops Samuel G. is one of the bigger names to claim off of that Demise side. We know the impact that he can have, and actually Dins, he's going to be able to catch Koj'J. We know that's a position he loves, and perhaps that's something that Demise are also aware of.
They have still got Mark defending up close with that Gewehr. It's going to be difficult to pick up multiple kills with it, though, as they push in. They're going to be able to overwhelm him, but luckily Cinda is there to back up his teammate. And we saw Cinda having some massive plays over on the Axis side earlier on in the tournament, and indeed almost consistently. He's been a star for the Endpoint side, although everybody really stepping it up on both of these teams. These are all massive names, and as you would expect. And it's really nice to see Demise here. They were, of course, seeded third, really coming into this. And they've made it all the way through to the final to take down the number one, the favorite coming into this Endpoint. With a bye coming out from the Endpoint side after that victory, of course, Demise aren't looking so great. They've decided to go for the eco, getting that positive economic management, as they're all going to be rushing in with the grease guns in play. Looks like they're going to be favoring the A-bomb side, closing down the distance. He's got to be careful here, as Cinda is going to be dropped early on. It leaves only Replan to defend with an STG, spots out a leg, and that's an easy double for him.
Yeah, good work from Replan. Actually even finds the third kill from that one. So shutting this down, going for that STG early on. Perhaps that's the way you need to play if you want to be able to successfully pull off those anti-ecos. But of course, Demise didn't really put much investment into that round. They stuck with the grease guns. They were happy enough to do so. Take that eco on the chin. And now coming into this round, that looks like they will invest completely. Carbines, a Thompson to come out, a couple of smokes. And it'll be interesting to see what way they approach this, because they only have the one nade to try and open things up. But Samuel, I think most importantly, he's able to get that sniper already. Is this something that Endpoint are going to be expecting?
I really don't think so here in the third round. That sniper on Samuel could cause some serious trouble. Nade's not going to do any early damage, as Samuel just going to be watching for the crossover on B. And they're crossing by the doors. He's not able to hit the opening shot. And Cinda, he's been doing this quite a lot, getting aggressive there in middle. We saw him do it almost every time they've played Manorhouse, and so it's predicted. Demise are ready for their opponents, probably having done their research. I mean, we've streamed Endpoint, I think, twice on Manor so far, so there is a lot of footage out there for how they play, but I've heard they've been saving up some of their strategies, some of the newer approaches to their maps for the finals and semi-finals. So perhaps they have still got some new things we got to keep an eye out for. Already, of course, buying that STG in the second round was an interesting decision from them, and certainly one that worked out. And they're going to hope to use it in this round alongside the Gewehrs and MP40 on Kostya to really open things up, because they've already lost a man as B control is being sought after from Demise. They have still got those players lurking over towards mid. At this point, I think Demise are looking to gain that bomb site, but they have to be really careful. They only have one smoke, so where they deploy that is going to be very important. They kind of need to find an opening kill before going in here. Like, they know all these close angles are possibly being held. They want to... Oh, there it is. They've spotted contact. Now that smoke can go down for Strove, find out the trade there under Kostya, but do they know that Mark is there, holding down with the Gewehr?
Yeah, that's the question. Mark could get a lot of damage done from this position. Reflex are able to find one. Mark comes out and denies that bomb plant. And happy enough to just hang back, because look how low that time is. Only 7 seconds remaining on the clock. Blues not able to get that bomb down. And with this now, without the kills to be found, the round is going to be over and done with. It doesn't work out for Demise. And they even end up losing the 2 remaining players in the last couple of moments. Reflexer just cleans things up. A nice couple of tokens added into his bank. And without the bomb plant as well going down, Demise not really going to be able to get a sufficient buy into this round. Likely to just kind of go for that carbine buy that we see all so often.
Yeah, more than likely just going to be sticking with those carabiners. Can't see if he has or not with the scoreboard, but definitely a very low investment coming out from them. And indeed, yeah, 2 carbines in play, 3 grease guns. Standard enough from Demise, as they look to once again overwhelm that A-bomb site. If they can get the bomb plant down, they'll be happy.
That nade could do some serious damage, and almost getting itself 2 kills. Strove and Samuel G being brought down low. I don't think that's going to be capitalized on, though. But either way, Dins was taken down. He was a casualty of Mark, who for these last couple of days has been playing extremely well. Not only is he in-game leading for this Endpoint side, but he's also having a lot of impact in crucial rounds. And this one looking pretty easy indeed. As we said, wasn't a lot of investment, just a couple of carbines being brought in by Demise. The goal to ideally get a couple of kills and get that bomb planted. But that's going to be an uphill battle from this point forward. 50 seconds left on the clock, a 2-man disadvantage. And Endpoint looking to try and aggress. This could get dangerous. There's a player pushing up through the trenches to try and find that flank. It's Mark who takes down Samuel. And now it's the 4v2. One trade at least coming in. So that's one token, but I wouldn't expect him to find too much more in this round.
Mark is getting a little bit aggressive towards the Manorhouse, but he's containing them more so with 30 seconds left. This round's pretty much over. Demise are going to have no chance to get towards that A bomb site. Although they do find that kill onto Mark, still that stack on A, as they know it has to be that bomb site that's hit. The cross being watched by Reflexer and the sniper. He's just going to back off at this point, not offering up any kills. Waiting for them to push in. Nice gap in the smoke, but he's not able to pick up a kill. It doesn't matter though, because Replan and Cinda are on the bomb site together and holding it down. And with 4 rounds on the board now, Endpoint are looking good, but this is the round that's going to be important with that full buy coming out from Demise. They're going to have full utility, and that's something they've kind of been lacking, is that utility early on. They're playing a little bit hesitant and not able to execute a bomb site late on with the smokes. It's causing them a little bit of trouble. But now, this is something that we saw them do the other day. That they're saving up a couple of tokens. They've got 3 grenades in hand, a couple of smokes as well. And they're leaving over some tokens on Strove, Samuel, and Niels, so that they can still buy up in the next round, at least somewhat. Gives them at least a little bit of an advantage.
Yeah, it is still a very solid buy indeed, and you can see Samuel on that sniper is able to go ahead and open things up, which is fortunate considering they did lose that player early on to the grenade. So 4v4, still lots of time to work with, but as we can see, all of that presence for the Allied side going to be focused over towards the B courtyard currently, meaning they do have to be kind of cautious for any flanks that could potentially come in. Not currently going to be the case though. Endpoint happy enough to just hold this more passive setup. They've gone ahead and rotated over a second player to that B bomb site. Kosje, as you would expect, always being pushed up with that SMG, looking to try and play close range. As we said though, Demise, they should be kind of aware of this. They'll be clearing out these positions for sure. The house being one of his favorites. That's the first one to be checked. But Blue still goes down. A second kill from Kosje as he's making a count. Eventually falls, but he not only allowed for his team to have a man advantage, but found the info about how many players are coming in this direction.
Yeah, look, already that man advantage over to the Axis side of Endpoint as Cinda's holding down in the house. Oh, that's a nice kill. That was a little bit risky, missing his shots, but eventually connecting them. At this point, Samuel's got a sniper in hand, a carbine as well, and now a Tommy gun. He's stacked up pretty well for tokens. And so you don't really want to go for this with so little time left. No smokes either to kind of maybe risk that plant. And even if he does get the plant down, it's not worth it for the tokens that he'll lose and have to reinvest into the next round. With the round ending there, Samuel gets no tokens due to surviving without that bomb plant going down. And so we're probably going to see the buy come out for Demise nonetheless, because he's going to be able to donate over his tokens, or maybe even just buy grenades in the back of it. His teammates can get the Gewehr's, they can get the nades, you can pick up some Garans if they want. And Demise kind of struggled over on Derailed up against Method. It was their allied side that kind of hurt them as well, because a lot of the times, Mark was given a little bit of insight, of course. He was in on analysis for that game, and saying that a lot of the time they're playing this really hesitant. They have this kind of slow game where they look for opening picks with SMGs, and often the battles that they were taking just didn't favor them at all. Of course, if you take a long-range battle with a Thompson up against the likes of an SDG or a Gewehr even, you're probably not going to find that opening. And that is where Demise generally do fall down, is in finding those opening kills. In the previous, they managed to get the man advantage, but again, it's so quickly traded back by Endpoint with players like Kosje doing what by now should be common knowledge that they do, right? Kosje every round is going aggressive on B. We all know that. We've only seen Endpoint on Manorhouse twice, and already their Axis side becomes kind of predictable. They go for early aggression on B. They have that one player over towards the A bomb site, kind of spotting out for information. A is generally the weaker of bomb sites for them, as they hold down B very, very well with Cinda and Kosje. But the thing is, Demise, whenever they try to go towards A, they're very slow. They're getting picked apart from flanks coming in from second mid or mid. They're not really throwing like consistent smokes, so when Endpoint see a smoke coming over towards A, coming over towards top mid, they know that they're manipulating that part of the map, and it's never really a situation where Endpoint are wondering, a minute into the round, where are they going, what are they doing? They always have the man advantage and a little bit of map control and information, and I feel like Demise are really falling down there just on their utility usage alone, not keeping the information away from Endpoint.
I agree, but it is still early days, Mitch. There's lots of time for them to try and recover this one, but This round, it may not be it, because already the opening kill to be found by Reflexer, able to drop Dins. Replan on a nice angle with that SDG as well. Neil's going to be having a Thompson. If he went for that peak, would probably be in a lot of trouble, so needs to be cautious. It looks like he's happy enough for now, at least, to just wait and see if any aggression comes. Samuel, he's looking to try and get that peak in, and does so successfully to at least bait out the shots. And with that now, a little bit more of a passive angle going to be forced out of Replan. Back towards that bomb site and handing over the control to Demise. But once again, as you said, it is a little bit predictable because they know that there's no one showing presence over on the other side of the map. A, kind of obviously being their target.
Yeah, look, Endpoint have got 3 players holding down here. They've got the STG deployed on Replan. And Cinda holding down with the MP40 again, going to pick up one, looking for a second, not able to quite connect it. But, oh, as Nielsk actually finds one as well, and that's Replan out of the situation. That makes things a little bit better, especially with Samuel G still having a smoke. He deploys that over towards the trenches. All they've got to do now is pick up that bomb. Problem is it's being watched from a relatively long angle. Oh, Samuel's caught in the open. That's the end of the round pretty much. Nielsk is being pushed down by 2 players towards the mid angle. He had one on the bomb side as well. There was no chance for him, and 6-0 now. Endpoint very convincing on the Axis side so far, able to recover that round, which probably should have been Demise's. Just the bomb dropped in the barn was a little bit too much for them to handle. As worth mentioning there, you saw Cinda going for the peak with the MP40, right? And if you're not familiar with this game, you might wonder, well, he was peeking out looking at the player's feet. And obviously, in the likes of Counter-Strike, it's a major misplay. But here in Battalion, of course, if you're scoped in...
What? You what, mate?
Where did he get that
He
from?
just wallbanged them all the way through the house.
Is that allowed? I've never seen that done before. I'm not even sure what wall he banged there.
Yeah,
That's
I did not know
incredible.
that was possible. I'm guessing that's one of the little sneaky tricks that Endpoint had to show us. It's not going too bad for Demise, though. It is a 3v3 still. We're going to have another look and see exactly how that wallbang came in. But for now, it's still a round to be fought for. Reflexer has that one kill, of course. The timing not quite working in his favor. Had the chance there to try and spot the cross, but as he falls back, that's when it comes in. And Din's going to find that headshot towards Cinda. So Demise, even after getting wallbanged early on and losing one player, have managed to get themselves control of B with a man advantage.
I'm still in a bit of shell shock after that wallbang. Been casting this game for 6 or 7 months now, and Manorhouse is a majority map. I see it in almost every best of 3. I've never seen someone attempt that, let alone get away with it. The 2 versus 2 Endpoint trying to get away with the round. Unfortunately, though, Dins and Blues are going to be playing this together, and we see time and time again Demise have got that team play. They tend to play these rounds together, and when it comes down to time restraint, they're never really greedy. Bomb up on top of the boxes. It's Endpoint trying to bait out the players. Nades going in. Defuse going to be initiated, and this is kind of a problem because Replan can defuse this from that side of the box where he's safe. Reflexer doesn't have to really go for a peek, and that is a big misplay for Demise. They take a risk that doesn't really pay off, and I'm not sure if they expected that that bomb could have been planted, it could have been defused from lying down on the opposite side of the box. Perhaps they thought that he'd have to jump up on top of the box, but it's not the case. 7-0. Another round for Endpoint. At least Demise survived with 2 players and managed to carry over a couple of weapons. We're putting them in a decent position economically, as they've got good nades, good weapons, but unfortunately they're already 7 rounds down. They really need to start picking things up, and this is a map that we know Endpoint are confident on. So Demise always have that in the back of their mind. You know, it's okay to lose this one. Oh, Coster gets a bit of team damage. It's not ideal.
It was actually a nade from Cinda, I believe. He bounced off the barn and came back, I think. Not 100% sure, but I believe that's how it went. But anyway, a quick trade at least to be found. It is brought down to the 4v4. But Demise, we've seen them get these trades early on and keep it in the equal situation in terms of the manpower, but still failed to actually capitalize on the round. And let's see if this one's going to be the exception, because we know Endpoint very confident on this map indeed, considered one of their stronger maps in the pool. And Mark, he loves getting aggressive. He decided to try and push forward, does end up falling, but it was elsewhere that they made sure they had Replan pushing forward also, so there always is a chance for that trade to be found for Endpoint.
What's awfully unusual about this as well is that Manorhouse is like the home ground of Endpoint, right? So it's really weird that Demise decided to ban Savoya. I would have went straight for Manorhouse as an instant ban. And take your chances on Savoya if you've got any preparation, but like we said, the team's not really practicing it, so maybe that's the reason behind it. But into this round, Demise try to gain... Oh, nice! was going to say, as they try to gain control of the B bomb site, Reflexor is going to be able to take them down, or at least do some damage. But kill return there by Samuel, who's looking around that bomb, around the smoke rather, lighting Replan up and leaving us into a 2 versus 3. The retake as Endpoint are at the man disadvantage. They managed it in the round before. This time not able to spot anybody out. Replan isn't in the... although it's a good position due to how Demise are playing this, it's just going to be delaying time. And with 30 seconds left, at least they have got a smoke on Cinda. That could be really dangerous. He's not going to go for it though, by the looks of it.
Yeah, I agree with this. They haven't really built up any economy at all, sadly, having to go for quite a lot of reinvestment into the majority of these rounds, so saving over the SDG and the Gewehr. That will be a nice find. But the Demise is going to go ahead and get themselves onto the board, getting that first round finally. It's still fairly early days, even with Endpoint still leading 7-1, because of course it's all about grinding out those rounds on the Allied side for Demise. Let's see though, because into this next round now, Endpoint going to have a tough choice. Do they want to go for the buy? Or would they perhaps rather just take one of those ecos, which we know they do like to go for sometimes, and they tend to get aggressive off the back of it. But it seems like they actually will invest. So yeah, gonna fully buy into this. And I think when you have quite a large lead, you can probably afford to maybe just take that one round and just ensure that into the upcoming one, then you have everything you want to work with. Instead, mostly Gewehrs into this one. The one SDG, of course, a couple of smokes, and no nades at all.
Yeah, interesting with 7 consecutive rounds that Endpoint are put onto such a poor economy, but it is because you just constantly have to reinvest into those grenades, and it's really costly if you're not finding openings with them. Often, I mean, if you buy 3 grenades and manage to win out the round by getting all the kills without even losing a player, you've already lost 1 token on the back of that.
A bit of a boost going on currently. It's the SDG to be boosted up in spawn, but problem is his teammates, they're beginning to fall elsewhere. A lot of casualties to be taken. Brought down to that 5v3, and a bit of a weakness now to be found on that B bomb site if Demise do take it in this direction, and that definitely seems to be the case. Already grouping up 4 players on this side of the map, and Endpoint, they've got 3 in position to try and actually hold this one down. Smoke as well could definitely be useful to try and actually hold this push off for a couple of seconds. Let's see if Cinda can make it work. As we said, the only one having this SDG to work with lines them up and takes 2. Reflex are also going to find 1 for himself, but sadly, it is still Replan that's left alone to clutch out the 1v2.
Nicely dancing around this smoke, though. I don't think they'll expect him to be in this close. He didn't find a kill before, and he's on top of the bomb. They're waiting for him to push in. They're really not going to be checking that. That's a nice kill for him, at least. The bomb dropped once more for him. 20 seconds on the clock. He's going to move over towards the double doors, but Blues still deciding where he's going to be. He now knows due to the spam coming through, but oh, he didn't pick up the bomb. That's the end of the round. That's a shame.
Yeah.
He ran towards it and was just an inch away from picking it up and thought he had it. And had he have got it in his hand, he could have actually gotten that bomb plant down safely, and that could have been a completely different round. A shame to lose it that way.
Yeah, a very awkward end indeed, but you do have to look towards Cinda, of course, who stepped it up massively to find that 2k while low health. A very crucial one indeed to even give Replan the chance to clutch it out, who also done a great job. So Endpoint leading 8-1, able to come in with that instant reset onto the economy of Demise, bringing them down now to what is a pretty weak investment. They've bought up a little bit onto most of their players. They've kept some tokens though, the carbines and that one Thompson, of course. Going for Demise in this round now, see if they can at least get that bomb planted. But soon they need to start picking up more rounds, because 1, obviously not going to be enough.
Yeah, with Endpoint already on 8, this is where we need to see Demise really start to step things up. They're looking for the bomb plant here. They'll get a massive return on investment if they can land that with only the 2 carbines and the Thompson in play. They'll return all the tokens they've invested, and then the bonus, of course, being any kills they can find. Even if they do lose the round, they'll come out in a better position to where they were, with the loss bonus, of course, built up massively. The Replan comes in to find a headshot onto Samuel, though. That's going to kind of destroy their chances a little bit. Although they are leaving Dins over towards the B bomb site. This is a first for Demise. They haven't really been going for this kind of play. Often just committing over the 1 bomb site. Very readable as Kostya gets aggressive on B. Finds himself 1. Dins is on that bomb site, and as his team try to relocate and move over towards him, they find themselves in a very bad position, being picked off. The bomb is down in the open. Dins is a little bit hesitant to go for it, waiting for Nielsk to push in and help him out. He will be able to pick it up. Oh, they catch Kostya with his back turned. And that's costly, down to a 3v2 already. This is a worthwhile round for Demise if they can get that bomb down. Nice nade coming over, that was Replan manages to find himself one, he gets the second as well. Closing it out 9-1, only losing the 2 players. And we're getting, of course, 10 tokens back for it with the 5 kills and then the round victory. That's an investment they can make again.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad for Demise either. Able to get themselves a couple of kills. Get some extra tokens into the bank. You know, coming into this round, this is where they get a solid buy once again. The Carbines, the Thompson. Most importantly, though, they have that scope into the hands of Samuel. And surprisingly, we haven't seen one being brought out for Endpoint in a while. We've seen Reflexer have it in that round where he picked up that wall bang, which was through the houses somehow. Hasn't brought it out since then, but there we go. Samuel, he finds an important opening kill. Blues on the nade, going to be able to take down Koj. And now they know they've heavily weakened that B-bomb site defense because, of course, Koj, the main player who normally pushes up to hold it down. But currently, the defense is just completely collapsing. Reflexer and Replan being left alone to try and clutch this out 2v5. And with no tokens at all in the reserve, if they can't get a kill quickly, I definitely think a save is worth considering.
Oh, yeah, with Reflexer being dropped now, it kind of has to be Replan on the M1 Garand. He's got 5 tokens in total in his possession. Maybe going to go for some exits at least. He knows there's a player caught up in the close left. He's going to take him down. There's a second on offer. But he's just going to try to escape with his life. Getting the regen up. Still taking that peek with the Gewehr. Very low HP. That's certainly going to be a little bit risky. And again, this is something I've said a couple of times now. He was half HP there when he jumped out. You could see he was waiting for his health to regenerate, but he didn't actually know that he was still only half, presumably, going after the jump. I feel like the vignette of blood kind of disappears a little bit early. And when you're around that 50 HP mark, it looks like you're completely healthy. But on the other hand, it should be something players know at this point, how long it takes to regenerate based on the vignette.
Yeah, I agree. That's something that players should be a little bit more familiar with now. They should have at least an idea of how long it takes for them to get up to around full HP. But yeah, 9-2. It's a second round that we picked up for Demise, but can they manage to chain them now together? That's the main question. And it's looking to be good, because actually the aggression from Endpoint is not going to work out at all. They look to try and push forward. They get completely demolished. And already Demise have just walked their way onto that B-bomb site. Replan and Cinda are going to be left alone. Only having the Gewehrs, of course, it's going to be a very tough time for them to get anything done at all. And Cinda, I think, likely to be shut down now on this flank, as close right is Samuel. He had a sniper, though. Didn't quite connect. The shot comes in, cleans up, and teabags. You have to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you have to, just to get that little bit of disrespect in. And it looks like with 9 rounds on the board, Endpoint are already going to be happy with how this half has gone, but the potential 12 on offer as Demise decide to go for full utility in this round, only missing a smoke on Samuel at the moment. They've got a whole lot of tokens left over for the next round if they do find themselves at a loss here, as long as they find a couple of kills. And Endpoint, as you can see, on the full eco. They've only got that one Gewehr out, everybody else rocking out with those MP28s or the popcorn rifles, as we call them. And it's watched out by Nielsk. He's sitting down with a Gewehr, watching for the push coming over from them. Oh, I think Cinda just spotted a leg.
I don't think he actually did spot it quite yet, and they need to be cautious because, of course, up close on the left around this corner, there is a player waiting nearby, being Nielsk. He himself is not really watching for that long flank, though, so that could be quite dangerous. And there we go. Reflexer eventually spots out the legs and gets himself one kill. He will be traded back, and Nielsk, at least for a couple of seconds, does a good job to just stay alive and delay that push while the bomb is being planted. But now the question is Endpoint. They still have quite a lot of time to work with. They may only have a majority of those MP28s, but they can at least try and go for this one. They haven't invested a lot. They can see if they can find some more kills out of it. And let's see what success they are going to be able to find, because already Mark has been taken down. A nice kill from Dins as well. And it seems like Demise should have a pretty easy time clearing this round up from this point forward.
Yeah, certainly with Endpoint having to get back into that bomb site. Only really the Gewehr to do any damage, and Cinda going to be dropped by Blues to finish things off, 9-4. And with Demise having that bomb plant, the round victory, and indeed the all 5 kills, that puts them in a really nice position economically. They get that reinvestment coming out. You see Dins, the man himself, the brain of the team of Demise. And these guys have really been improving over the last couple of months. They've been around since the start of Battalion, all as a unit. And their team play really does come into things. They're not a team that gets tilted all too easily. I don't think I've ever seen them give up hope. So I feel like it's going to be a position that, even though they are only on 4 rounds right now, if they can pick up a 5th, or indeed take this to 9-6, they won't be looking at things all too negatively. And we do know Endpoint were solid on their allied side, though, and that might be a little bit of a problem for them, for the Demise side, if they don't manage to pick up these 6 rounds. Things are already looking good. Beating down the 4-buy. It's only Mark left alive. Comes in with almost the double, but it's eventually going to be dropped. I feel like regularly 6 rounds isn't going to be enough on your allied side up against Endpoint, considering how they played yesterday against Comrade on this map. It was their allied side that really came out in force for them. But if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be Demise.
Yeah, and already bringing it back up to 5, considering they were down extremely heavily at 1.8 to 1, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, Demise have recovered this half great in their favor. As you said, if they can bring it back up to 6, I think they will be pretty happy, get off to a solid start down on the Axis side, and just really get themselves rolling. And let's see, because there is still a chance there for Endpoint. They'd love to try and reach that double-digit mark at half-time. And already Reflex are going to open things up to try and assist them in doing so. To take down Samuel G as well. That's the sniper now gone out of the possession of Demise, so they're going to be a little bit more limited. That nade not quite landing where I think it was intended to, because of course it went outside the map.
Yeah, not quite going to get a kill out there, unfortunately.
Not normally, no. Unless there's ways to get out of the map. But yeah,
not anymore. Not anymore.
I've never seen any, to be honest.
Yeah, they used to be over an invasion, but it's all patched up now. Or so we hope. We might find out in a couple of hours, but I don't think that's going to be the next map pulled out, and we don't even know at the moment who's going to be picking that next map, as Demise are kind of on the back foot here with Samuel being dropped so early on. An Endpoint on those full Gewehr's, only the MP40 to come out from costume. He's using that. He's not going to have a whole lot of opportunity to get it on the push. He's going to have to come in for the retake, or that is if Demise can claim this bomb site. 3 players are there on the Endpoint side, looking to close out this half with a fat W. Bomb plant goes in, no nades to deny, but they jump around the bomb site, finding themselves openings everywhere. And just like that, it's Dins, dropped by Mark to finish things off 10-5. Spectacular performance coming through from Endpoint. Great Axis side, and considering how well we know they usually do over on that Allied, they're going to be amazingly happy with 10 rounds on the board.
I honestly kind of think both teams can be pretty happy with that. Endpoint obviously more so, considering, as you said, they are traditionally a very strong Allied side. But the Maya's getting off to a poor start and able to recover themselves and bring it back up to 5 in the end. If they can continue on with that momentum here now on the Axis side, I definitely think this could still be a very close game. Let's see, because coming into this one already, it's like Endpoint, they do want to focus a bit towards picking up those smokes. They have the first one going down towards the top of mid, giving themselves a little bit of room to maneuver. And there is still one in the possession of KozJ as well. I believe it was actually Cinda who threw one over towards B earlier on also. So yeah, looking to try and close on the distance. They're getting up close and giving themselves the chance, if they wish to do so, to try and split towards B. Just pressuring heavily towards second mid, but Samuel able to just push in through the smoke. He gets himself a double kill and actually finds Cinda as well as he retreats back in. That's the bomb now in his possession. And he steps it up massively when it's needed, and with his teammates to assist, suddenly it's only Reflexer who remains. And 1v3 for him to try and clutch out is not going to be an easy task. Gets spotted already, and he is going to be finished off by Niels. That's an important round for Demise to pick up to get off to a solid start here on the Axis side, as I said.
That was a very nice start from Samuel G into the half. Demise are going to be so happy with that perfectly timed push, grabbing the 2, and the third over towards the actual barn was probably not one we expect to see him come through with. I mean, he was already hit up by one of the players, jumps in there, and only goes down to half. 10-6. Demise is going to be in a decent position now, but the question is, are Endpoint going to be able to win it out to bring back the curse of the second round? They're going in with smokes towards A, but with Blues spotting out Mark, dropping him early on. It's going to be very difficult for them to actually make any impact, and they're relying on Reflexer finding some openings towards the B bomb side as they hold down on A. waiting for any aggression to come through. This is kind of a smart play, right? Reflexor finds that kill on B. Now maybe the A players get aggressive. Maybe they try to push all the way up through mid to flank out the B push that might be coming in. Trying to sell a bit of a fake, but it doesn't really work. No rotations come through from Demise, but they do already find that open kill on the Endpoint side. Although it is a 4 versus 4, well, now a 3 versus 4 in favor of Endpoint. That's going to be quite good for them, but we need to be careful because Replan's contemplating aggression on A. Strove still patiently waiting for it to come through, finds himself a kill. He predicts that's what's going to be going down, but Demise are still on the back foot. Samuel's stuck over towards this bomb site. He has to find a 3K here if he wants to shut it down by himself, and a nice shot onto Kostya. Sind jumps out. He's dropped 2, and that puts it all on Sam with Reflexor's kill onto Strove. It's a 1v1. Samuel needed the 3K if he wanted to do it all by himself. Well, he has no other choice right now, but it's not going to happen. With Reflexor finding the kill on the push through the door, it's 11-6. And Endpoint finally claiming an allied side round. That's 1 out of 2 so far for them. And if they can keep trading rounds back and forth like that, they're going to be coming out on top with 5 rounds left to go for them to find a victory. Demise are 5 rounds behind.
Yeah, great try by Samuel again. Sadly, in the end, he just wasn't able to get it done. Almost picking up that 3K, of course. The second one being crucial. Once again, he was in a position where he was really tagged up and still managed to find that extra kill. But now, of course, Endpoint making that lead just a little bit further in their favor, 11-6. That nade could actually do some heavy damage, doing quite a lot on the Blues. He was just able to actually escape the fatal range of that grenade and keep his life for now. So it doesn't seem like things are going to be opened up quite yet, but already, Replan has pushed his way up towards B with the use of these smokes now, giving themselves a bit of a chance to try and pressure on towards this bomb site, and this could be dangerous. Replan, he's holding the perfect angle here. The peak looking to try and come in. Samuel, he was taken down extremely low, lucky to get away with his life in that position.
But getaway he does, this Endpoint start to move over towards the bomb site of B. Blues is in position with the Gewehr. Oh, finds some tags, but no kills as he's going to be pushed down close. He sees the shadow though, he's ready for it, finds the headshot onto Kostya and backs off safely. With Samuel G's getting aggressive. Oh, he was doing it again, but not able to connect the kill. Now that puts the B bomb site under the control of the Allies, and it's going to have to be the retake from Demise. As they look to come in towards it, Strove's already finding a wall bang onto Cinda. The bomb still to be picked up. Could cause a little bit of hassle for them. As Niels gets aggressive in the barn and picks up Reflexor, it's all onto just Mark and Replan, trying to get the bomb down. Smoke goes in aggressive. They're trying to close in the distance here. As Mark gets up close to the white box, he's just going to be holding for the push to come through. Niels not quite going for it just yet. As they make noise over towards the double doors, Mark opens things up. Replan with one as well. It's all onto Niels. He's got to find himself a double to win this round out. And he's not able for anything. Mark closing the distance on that Thompson. It's 12-6. Again, Endpoint only 4 rounds away from victory. The Demise need to step it up. They had a slow start to the first half, and it looks like the second half is going to be no different for them. And if it is no different, they will not be claiming themselves this. Of course, they have still got 4 maps to choose from. If they do lose this map, they get to choose the next, whether it be Liberation, Coastal, Derailed, or Invasion. And I imagine they would be leaning towards that Coastal map, considering Endpoint's history there. But we saw yesterday, they've certainly got some tricks left in the bag.
Oh yeah, for sure. They definitely came into Coastal yesterday looking a lot more coordinated than we had seen from them before. But into this round now, not too much investment to actually be brought in from Demise. Surprisingly, Niels is going to fully invest. He's gone to the MP40. Everyone else happy enough to either just stick onto that default MP28 or else get the Gewehr in the case of Samuel, who didn't want to really spend too much. Of course, he's saving towards getting that scope out as early as he can. But Endpoint taking their time, not really 100% sure of what they're going to be up against. We see a bit of a boost coming in from Reflexor, not quite on the level of his wall bang. It is a pretty standard position. But for now, Endpoint really taking their time, and they're yet to really get much map control at all for themselves. Kostya has closed in the distance on A. He's in a spot where he can try and hold for any aggression from long and also give them the chance to split in towards this bomb site if they wish to do so. And it looks like that definitely could be the case indeed, with the pressure now being put towards mid. And Strove only having this MP28, he's going to have a really tough time trying to hold this down.
Endpoint actually now doing what we saw coming through and derailed a couple of times, making their way towards A early on, then rotating over to the B bomb side. But unfortunately, Dins has already gotten aggressive, and nice double with the MB28. In comes Blues as well, and it's all under Replan. Whoa, that was a bit of a voice break. It's all under Replan.
You've been struggling a little bit, Mitch.
The sickness is catching up to me, Dean. Just had some nice green tea, so hopefully that's going to help. But I don't think anything's going to help Replan. Not even the greenest of teas could help him win this round with so little time left. He has to go for the save and hoping nobody hunts him down. Of course, a very, very expensive weapon on him. He wants to save over those tokens and allow his team to maybe buy around him, but I imagine they will just be sticking with the grease guns into this round. You don't really want to force up with one token on most players. Not going to be the most ideal. Of course, Replan not really getting any tokens in the previous round, surviving on the allied side. But no kills on the board.
Yeah, so coming into this one, just going to be the carbines. They have mostly gone for that full force. They're not going to get any utility at all. So really this round going to rely on Replan to try and open things up, and then also those carbines to try and get some work done, perhaps in a bit of a quicker fashion, because Kosjay already pushing his way up towards the car. We know he likes to get up close and personal, and he's looking for that once again. And actually, this is just so much control already for Endpoint. They've got the smoke up on mid as well. Mark able to push up towards that position. But he does have to be cautious, because the aggression also coming in from the Axis side could catch him off guard. His teammates currently completely focused on that B bomb site, not really being 100% aware of where perhaps Demise could have pushed forward on.
That second mid trench going to be taken over by Demise, and if they get a little bit aggressive there, they should find some info. But that's actually kind of good for Endpoint. That kill being found on the mark. Now sees a rotation come towards the A bomb site as the push comes in. Trades to be found on B as Reflexor finds yet another. We're down to a 3v3. He's in a nice position, laying down, picks up another. And all of a sudden, man advantage for Endpoint. They've got the B bomb site, but we mentioned the second mid trenches before, and there's the player Blues coming up behind, and he's giving Replan the Blues and the Reds. As his blood spills out onto the floor, he finds himself no longer alive, but so too does his teammate Strove, and that leaves Blues in a 1 versus 2s.
Oh, actually was aware of Kosjay potentially being up close, sadly, as he tries to retreat back into the house and take a little bit of a different approach to that bomb site. He will be traded out from behind. So good work in that round from Endpoint. As we said, they went for the full investment. They put all their tokens in, and they were able to make it work. The problem is now for Demise, they've lost that loss bonus, and likely they're going to fully invest into this round. And if this one doesn't manage to go in their favor, then they're likely just going to have to force up into the rounds that remain.
Well, for sure, but you can see Mark there having a little bit of a chat with his teammates, making sure this goes in their favor. They've got a very mixed buy coming in. Thompson's in play, also backed up by an M1 Garan, some carbines, and a little bit of utility deployed early on. They're going to make their way towards B, where Reflector's going to be holding down for the cross. Now, they know there's one player there. Smoke goes in to allow them to close in the distance and make sure Demise are worried about all of the angles, not just towards long. Stins holds down with the Kaveri. Blues has already opened things up, but the trade is found by Replan, allowing them to gain access perhaps to that bomb site. All they have to do is drop Dins, but he drops Replan, leaving the rest of his team in disarray as they try to close this out. They're at a 2-man disadvantage. The bomb is down for them, and they're rotating over towards the B bomb site. They were previously holding the flanks and going towards mid, but now Kostya is making his way up behind the enemy. But they're going to be watching him, and oh, they're not watching him somehow. They spotted him making his way up close. Now Mark picks up one. They should know Samuel G's there. Perfect timing on Mark. Nice headshot to finish things off. They just have to pick up Nielsk, rather, having already taken down Samuel. And into this 1v2. He's definitely going to go for this. He's got a shotgun in hand. If he can pick up 2 kills, it'll certainly pay off, and he'll win the round. So
I don't think they've spotted him yet. I thought that Kosjay may have spotted him when he jumped across to get that info, but it doesn't really matter because now he's been able to hear those footsteps. Playing up close, Mark taking a bit of damage, but they can just kind of play this bait and switch style because, as we can see, Nielsk having no idea that Kosjay was up close. And that will be that round finished off. Brought back from the 2v4 as well. That one's heartbreaking for Demise because, as I said, now losing that one puts them in a very awkward position because, yeah, they don't have a great economy. They can eco this one if they want to maybe just go for the carbines. But then they'll be facing off against Map Point already in the hands of Endpoint, and it looks like they are just going to fully invest, getting what they can, looking to try and bring the fight to Endpoint right now. But it seems like the game may just be slipping out of their grasp, or at least this map. Of course, this is only the first of potentially 5.
yeah, indeed. And look, you could look at things now and say things are looking one-sided for Endpoint. This is only going to be 3 maps, but I wouldn't agree with that. I mean, this is a map that's so strong for Endpoint. It was their pick coming into this. Certainly their home ground. I mean, taking Savoy out of the map pool, this is the map that Endpoint want to play 10 times out of 10. They haven't really had a choice to pick Savoy. They might be great on it, but it's always been insta-ban, so we don't know. But definitely out of the maps remaining, Manor, Lib, Coastal, Derailed, and Invasion, this is their home ground. This is where they find most of their wins. And indeed, this is continuing to be a trend for them. They've already found the opening kill. Ooh, and almost a second. You can see Blues on that orange sort of browny HP, like 20 HP or so. Oh, Mark spotted out one as well. The flank trying to come in. Not going to be possible for Samuel. But at least Strove manages to trade out. Blues with the nade as well. That's pretty big. Gives them back an even man. 3 versus 3. Blues being pushed down on those. Got to be careful with that Gewehr. If Kostya hears the reload, he'll be pushing in. Pre-fires it, but he's just around the corner. The jump through, not going to be tradable. That's an easy opening kill for Demise. They go aggressive, and it works out. Reflexor misses his shot. He wasn't ready for that push. And now it's a 1v3. Even with the Garand in hand, Sin's going to have to do some serious work. And it's not possible. 6 rounds between these two teams. Demise finally securing themselves a goodbye on the Axis side. They've already got a Garand saved over on Strove. They've utility deployed on Dins early on. And they're going to have a very strong buy coming into this. STG coming out on Nielsk. With Samuel going to be able to do the same should he feel like it. And there he goes with the STG.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he hadn't have gone for the STG, especially considering he normally is that sniper, so probably want to keep him with some sort of a weapon that can do those long-range battles. So yeah, goes for the STG. That's also very useful for just spamming down on mid. We can see Nielsk is currently the one going for that. See if he can pick up any opening kills, but I think they have the info that this is looking to be a very quick B play coming in from Endpoint. Already closing in the distance and taking some casualties in the process. We see Samuel and Din's been able to find those frags. Endpoint finding nearly as much success so far as they would have hoped. Basinda pushing up close on that grease gun, able to find themselves one and gather some control in the process. And suddenly it's a 3v3 and the bomb should indeed be planted with no grenades to deny that in the hands of Demise.
You got to remember, this is an eco from Endpoint. They just bought up a couple of smokes and went for it with a carbine or two. And already they've got the bomb plant down, so this round has paid for itself at this point. Into the 3 versus 3, they have that advantage of being able to defend, but the weapons are not really on their side. A carbine, a Gewehr, and a grease gun up against the STG and double Gewehrs. It could be risky, and already Niels doing some heavy lifting with that STG in hand. Reflexor's not even going to be able to make it in there to deny that bomb plant. Tries to go for the save, but not even able to make it away with his life. 14-9 as the defuse comes through. 5 rounds now sit between Demise and Endpoint. And it's Dins to be top fragging over on the Demise side. 19 kills on the board. But Demise, again, they're showing a very well-rounded performance. They're playing this with varying performance, but it varies by very little. You often see them going to be able to keep up that standard performance. You don't have one player kind of sitting up on 40 kills while the rest are down on 10. Everybody's pulling their weight. And early nades to come through from Strove. That could be dangerous for the Allies. They do spot it out, though, and bide their time.
Yeah, it's not going to be an easy round by any means for Endpoint because already some info has been obtained, but if they can manage to drop Samuel uncontested, that gives them a pretty good opportunity and an important battle to be won out by Replan and a trade also to be returned by Reflexor. Niels, we've seen him do a good job in that previous round, of course, but he's going to be pressured now on this A-bomb site. At least if Endpoint do decide to commit, because for now they can't just slow things down if they wish to do so, but Reflexor, he's going to drop. Looking to try and take another duel on mid gives the chance for Demise to pull this round back into an equal situation in terms of the manpower. And suddenly Endpoint looking a little bit more confused. Where are they actually going to try and take this one? It seems like B may be the focus. But the problem is Kostya has been taken down in the process of trying to rotate over. So Mark, he's on the bomb site alone, and it's actually the bomb that's currently in the hands of Cinda. He has to rotate all the way back around through spawn. So it's really up to Mark to try and get this one done. If he can find the kills, that will be perfect. He gets the first and upgrades his way towards the SDG. But with that now, I believe Demise, they should be aware of that this attack is likely coming in towards B.
Whether they're aware of it or not, I don't think they'll be able to have all too much impact into this round. Well, into the plant anyways. It's pretty much definitely going down. And the question is, can they make the retake happen? Well, Cinda's on that sniper. So never mind, Cinda's on the floor as he's dropped by Blues. And now all of a sudden it's just Mark, STG in hand. And he's going to have a pretty even battle against one player, but unfortunately there are two of them. 30 seconds, plenty of time for Demise to work this. They just need to be careful. They need to make sure they can be traded. Jumping into the bomb site, that was a little bit risky, and they're isolated. Nice double spray down by Mark. 15-9. They're not clearing the same angles together, unfortunately. Efficiently is enough, and oh no, I don't want to see what he's typing.
I do, but I don't think the stream can. Yeah, 15-9. What a way. Mark, the captain, the IGL, putting his team on his shoulders in that round and taking that 1v2 to go ahead and claim map point for Endpoint. 15-9. It's going to be a tough one for Demise. 6 rounds in a row on the Axis side. It's not impossible, but it is going to be difficult against a team on the caliber of Endpoint. And of course, you can see that Vi is not going to be amazing for Demise. They get what they can. It's mostly Gewehr's, the one shotgun. And I believe the nade that they had already being used and sadly not finding when she started the round off.
Yeah, you know what? I think it actually would have found a kill, but it was a little bit too low. It bounced off the left door, and had it not have done that, I think Replan would have actually been caught out by it because he didn't seem to spot it until it bounced. And that's a little bit too late. Already double kill coming in. Samuel not able to pick up anything. Goes out with the Luger, but he's dropped by Replan. It's a 5 versus 2. This is looking to be a 16-9 scoreline. No kills to even come in for the Axis side. It's all on Niels because Luger's blocking the view model, and that is going to be it. We're going to have a good first map on the cards. I don't know when we're going to get the veto now that Demise will choose. Of course, they have a choice of Liberation, Coastal, Derailed, or Invasion. This is a best of 5 series, so still plenty of time for them to come back into it. You need to win 3 maps in order to come out on top here. So they've still got time. Endpoint have to win another 2. They've got the next map choice, and I'll be interested to see what that is. Like I said,
I'm expecting a Coastal.
Yeah, we're kind of expecting to see Coastal come out. Maybe, though, I mean, Demise have been together a long time. They've got a lot of preparation.
Could see
maybe
Lib,
we're going to see that. Well, maybe the Lib, maybe the Invasion, because it's not very frequently played these days. Maybe they'll hope to catch Endpoint out.
Yeah, you have a good point. I actually think it's kind of up in the air here. As we said, Coastal not being a great map for Endpoint, but then again, they showed us last night that they can make that work if all their players are firing on all cylinders. And with Demise having been a team for so long, they should have that structure. So it'll be interesting to see what they decide on. I think they'll probably just stick to the maps that they feel more comfortable on rather than trying to go specifically towards the weaknesses of Endpoint, because I think that can be a little bit of a trap sometimes. But yeah, guys, I think we are going to go ahead and just take a quick break, and I'm pretty sure there is an interview coming up in a couple of moments. Joe, I think, going to interview Davey, the former Method player.
We're going to have Joe Bramatron on here to interview Davey. I said it right for once.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a thumbs up for that. I've been flamed a lot recently, but we're gonna take a quick break anyways, guys, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes with Joe interviewing Davey.